Going on, guys? Today, my reptile fixation continues. We are doing this weird hybrid build where I kind of mashed it together with my dark quick draw hero thing. It's actually a lot of really neat synergies in here, where it's like you play these two semi-searchable boss monsters in the Vasky and the Plasma that both synergize really well with the Dandy token spam, and you can just kind of drop them and wreak havoc in the mid game, which is nice. I've thrown in Dad. We're playing some of the Reptile stuff. I took out the Ananta. Actually, I don't remember what the hell the last Reptile build I showcased on the channel was, but I think it had Ananta in it. And Ananta's a good card, just can't quite fit it in here. We sort of had to trim down the mid-game threats to 1 quick draw, 1 debris, 2 Caius. I think Caius probably is the best one out of all of these in terms of just like playing well with the hero package and all the Dandy token spam. We've got Future Fusion in here. Couldn't quite fit in Miracle. I don't think you really need to. I think like Few plus Stratos plus like all the other stuff that goes with the Mali and the Prodigy is kind of enough. I really like the Cyber Valley 1-for-1 going with the hero stuff and the Dandies. And then of course we've got the Reptiles. We're just sort of playing the best ones. I think Vasky is unironically like the reason to play the deck. I think this card is super underrated. It's like just this searchable, like super intimidating mid-game threat. I mean, the fact that it's like a 26 and you could just drop it and pop something like Pseudo Caius their guy, and its stats are just crazy, and it's a dark monster. I just think that's awesome. I mean, Gardena's obviously the best card in the deck. Gardena's the reason we play this entire thing. Gardena's insane. And, you know, it also opens up to let you play Offerings, the Snake Deity, which is great because it's just like free outs against back row decks. Like, they try to flip Oppression on you, you just screw them over with this. So, yeah, I think this version's been playing really well. I'm going to show you a couple of replays. I think this might honestly be the next direction that I try and take the deck in, because I think it's pretty good. So anyway, let's look at the replays. First, we have... this was against Lightsworn. I think it was like pure Lightsworn, though not Christia, which I think the Christia version is just better. Game number 1, we opened all right because we have Dust Shoot, but my opponent, I look at their hand and it's just like they have the nuts. Like I don't know how I'm gonna stop this. They're getting recharge off no matter what I do. I have to take Aaron, I think. So here they set everything. I'm like, okay, we can set this up so we double Offerings in their draw phase. I probably should have flipped this before setting these, just in case he decided to randomly Judgment it. So he's going to Judgment the first one, obviously, but we're going to get him with the second one. But he's now top decked into Charge of the Light Brigade, so... And then I think he, like, mills Wolf multiple times this game, so... You know, that's just the pure Lightsworn experience. I do think Christie is better, but... obviously, milling Wolf can just, like, win you games for no goddamn reason. So... We have to bring Caius and just hope he hasn't drawn Honest in this situation, which maybe I should have bottomless one of these Wolves. I don't end up getting any value out of this bottomless, as you're going to see, because he drew Cold Wave, and then immediately after drawing Cold Wave, he top decks JD. So, you know what? I probably should have won game 1, but Lightsworn do be sacking sometimes. It's just, what can you do? Game 2, my hand's pretty good. I decide to go for Valley turn 1, which in hindsight, I don't know if was correct. It kind of put me behind on tempo in a rough way. The opponent actually has the Torrential to deal really well with my Ab-Zero coming down, which kind of sucks. So they standby phase MST might for Torrential, which I'm not sure why they did that. They could have waited to me for me to like play into Gorge or something. And just in case it was Solemn, I guess, but like I feel like you're cool with me Solemning your Torrential in that situation. I mean, you've got like backup plans to deal with the Ab-Zero. Anyway, I go Drill here, and from here I think the game's pretty much over. Because we're going to drop Plasma at some point, and Lightsworn does not deal with Plasma. Like, they just lose to Plasma. Honest is like their only out. Yeah, pretty much just Honest is their only out. So here I'm just going for game. Actually, I figure out that I did math wrong. He's going to live on 200 no matter what order I do this in. So I decided to do it in the playing around Gore's order. So he only gets a 1200 token, which maybe... He still could have dropped Gores and got a 24 token, but he Honest over my guy, and he has to reincarn back. Knock is such a bad side deck card, by the way. This card is just always dead. Don't play it, PSA. But he has to reincarn back the Honest again. So he's like used Honest multiple times here, but I top deck Vasky, so we just Vasky pop his guy, win the game. Vasky being a sick card as always. And we're going to game number 3. Here, my starting hand's cracked, I'm not going to lie. I feel like I sacked this game super hard. In the same way that it's kind of vengeance for game one, right? So it's fair, it's equal. But yeah, we have the dumb shit. We have Solemn Dust Shoot. I calculate that if he has Gores, we can technically out it. It might be like difficult, but we could just float into Vasky and call the Haunted back Dandy or something. I don't know. But yeah, we hit him with the Solemn Dust Shoot combo to completely brick his hand, and yeah, he draws a dead Sork right after he banished his only dark and has no lights. So we're just gonna take the W there. Definitely a bit of a sack in game number 3. All right, other match. This one was against. Oh, what was this again? I think it was Gadgets or something. For some reason when you're playing in DB randos, you always run into these people playing Gadgets, and I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure the deck sucks. I mean, it's pretty easy to play, and you can kind of like win some games with it, even if you're not like a super experienced player, I guess. So that might explain why a lot of randos play it. Anyway, I get Reapered, which is an interesting tech. I don't think I've seen Gadgets on Reaper before. This guy was on a lot of weird cards, actually. Like, he's on Hammer Shot. I don't usually see them playing that one specifically. Usually it's like Smashing Round, and then maybe Fissure, maybe. But Fissure and Smashing are really shit against this deck because face-up Reptilian Gardna actually, like, cock blocks both of them from hitting your big monster. It's really funny. So here, he probably should have summoned Doom Cow here. Because I would have had to out it with, like, Trag or something. But then I would still drop the Gores, so I don't know. Here, we're looking pretty good. I mean, we got the Debris Dragon, we got the Brain Control, we've got... I decided to hold on to the Debris so I can make my hand bigger for Trag, I guess. But here, he's just dead to Brain Con because I'll hit with Doom Cow first and stop his Trag. So, we're going to a game number 2. Game number 2, I forget. I think I opened like an okay hand. Now, this hand's like pretty mid, actually. I'm not going to lie. Okay, the Debris makes it a lot better. So, we just sort of pass back and forth. The opponent doesn't have any gadgets. He's got a lot of like random one-off kind of control anti-meta monster guys. Like, I don't know how to describe it. But we draw into Caius, which is really sick. Get rid of the Fossil Dyna. Search a Reptilian Gardna so that we can get a potential Offerings to the Snake Deity live if I draw one. He does, like, snipe my Judgment with Breaker, which is unfortunate, because if he had hit the other 50-50, we'd have gotten a free Sangan search. We draw another Gardna, so I'm kind of just waiting for, like, the opportune moment to go off here. He flips Macro. I end up spacing it so I can go for Plasma. He actually holds his Judgment this entire time, which is interesting. But we go in, and I think he outs this with Shrink, which is probably one of the few outs he actually has in terms of, like, in this situation anyway. I mean, if you have trap card outs, that's a different thing. So he rams in to drop Trag. Not a bad play. Threatening to get over these walls at least. We go Offerings, and then he's got the Road. So I maybe should have Vaskied instead of Drill Warrior. But he ends up Judgmenting the Drill Warrior anyway. So now I go for my own Stardust into Vasky. I think there was maybe a better way I could have played that turn in hindsight. But we can out his whole board. But then he ends up having, like, Gale to out the Stardust, which is one of the only outs to Stardust. And he has Smashing Fissure to out my whole field. So it ends up being a little awkward. When in doubt, I just float into another Gardna. I don't know. It's not always correct, but I do it. He goes for Doom Cow hit. And, you know what? I think he accidentally, like, summons a gadget under his own Doom Cow, which maybe I should just let him take that back, but he went with it and just, like, killed his guy. So, honorable move by the opponent. He's still not attacking, I think. So, I do eventually... Oh, no, wait. I make a mistake here thinking that I can Brio under macro, but Brio specifically says, I think, discard to the graveyard for some reason instead of just discard. I think it says that in the Edison errata, too. So you can't Brio under macro, which is a little weird. Then I mistakenly forgot that Naga doesn't reduce the attack to 0 till the end of the battle phase, so I thought I had game anyway, but no such luck. He's going to out my whole field, go for Storm into... Which I'm kind of glad he stormed here because my Gores was super dead all game. So now we just drop Gores and win, obviously. So, going to pull it out in game number 2. Nice little 2-0 for the Reptile Hero deck. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite builds in Edison format. I hope to do more with it in the future. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Think about becoming a channel member. We get lots of bonus content for you channel members, and you get to view all the videos a day early, which is nice. But yeah, that's it for today. Peace out.